And one strike away again. Can Cole have a David Freese moment here? Can Cole have a David Freese moment here? 2-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a drive! At the window! Grand slam! Cole Layton puts them on top!
Welcome back to a new edition of the 3 Up, 3 Down podcast. I'm your host, Brian Hunter. This is my co-host, Quentin Meyer. And we are joined today by Mr. Cole Layton. Four-time All-Star, batted .326 last year, slugged a whopping .744, 5 home runs, and 13 RBI. Pretty damn good year, if you do say so myself. But, oh man, thanks for joining us. How's it been going?
Yeah, it's good. First off, thanks for having me. Great job. Great job going, taking over this podcast.
Appreciate it.
Nothing but great things to say, Getting that content out for everybody is great. So, love to see it and just awesome. So, but yeah, other than that, been doing good. Just good, solid off season. Haven't touched a wiffle ball or wiffle ball bat since I don't even know when it was, October. So, whenever the All-Star game was, it's probably the last time I touched a ball or bat. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just relaxing, getting ready for the season.
That makes me envious of you to be able to not pick up a bat and not work at it and come out and hit over 300. I mean, okay, cool. Good for you. Good for you, Cole. Good for you.
Well, we go hard. Like, right. I mean, just, I show up pretty much every week. So, just, taking the, 6 months it is, or probably not even 6 months really, I guess, like 4 or 5. Yep. Just to take a break. It's a long season for us coming, pretty much every week, from, end of March through October, it's a grind for sure. So taking the break is good for me.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Alrighty. So year 5, going into year 5 is captain the Mambas, one of the original teams in MO WIFF. What makes this year and this team different than years previous?
I think we have a lot more depth this year. I'm sure we'll talk about it, but, the 3 draft picks that the Mambas picked up this year, all 3 can pitch, which, has been probably one of the, downsides of the Mambas. Just we've always had, 2 pitchers for the most part, but, with me being our third, isn't always the greatest thing. I have my on nights, I can be dominant, and then there's, nights where I throw the ball over the backstop. So, so hopefully, with these new picks, gives us a lot more depth pitching wise. If someone's off, we can make that change right away, and stick with what's working. Give our top arms even some nights off, rest that arm for the playoffs. And just, keep everybody healthy, and just a lot more depth and even more experience. These 3 guys I got all are competitive tournament players already. So, just bringing in those competitive wiffle players is, only going to make that competition better, rise, better talent. And, hopefully it puts us over the edge.
Gotcha. So speaking of your new draftees, pretty much all 3 that you had, Chandler Melton with your 4th pick of the first round, Caden Rice with the 6th pick of the first round, and then you picked up Falcon Pearson in the 2nd round, all part of that CI Prospects team. Mm-hmm. How much time have you got to spend talking with them, or, hanging out with them potentially, or anything like that?
Yeah, haven't really hung out with them. They all came to the draft, so finally got to, meet them face to face, introduce myself. Honestly, like prior to the draft, I think the top 3 picks were pretty set in stone. I mean, not like maybe 1, 2, 3 how they were going to go, but I think you kind of knew who the top 3 people were going to go before me. So, I mean, honestly, I really only texted Chandler prior to the draft. I had my eye on him, so I kind of was pretty set on picking him at 4. I mean, there wasn't really many other options. I didn't really text anybody else, so I talked to Chandler a lot. I didn't really even I didn't text Caden or Falcon. I only texted Chandler. Chandler kind of just gave me the rundown of everything. Basically, telling me what I kind of liked it. He told me how Caden played and how Falcon played. So kind of gave me an outside perspective. Sometimes when people are kind of talking about themselves, they may, say they're, maybe they throw 5 miles per hour harder or something like that. Just kind of getting a little bit of more different outside perspective of who I wanted. So that was nice. But haven't really hung out with them. I know they're all in. They're, they've practiced multiple times by themselves, out there in Illinois. So, I guess they go into some kind of gym and practice all the time. So they're doing that, working out. So they're getting ready for the season. They're all in, and yeah, that's pretty much all I know. I haven't really hung out with them too much. So hopefully once the weather gets better, we can introduce the whole team and see what they got.
All right, so how will the loss of Ryan O'Rear affect your team? Like, how do you replace that arm and that bat?
Yeah, that's a great question. Trying to replace a top 5 Mo WIFF player,
Number 5.
It's hard to do. So I think that's where these 3 draft picks, it's not going to be one player. It's going to be multiple players. I think Chandler for sure gives us that bat. I felt he was that number 2 bat in the draft. So getting him at 4 was huge to replace, O'Rear's bat, because I think that's where, he helped the Mambas the most. Obviously, pitching is huge. But, Ryan being pretty much our 2 pitcher, I think replacing that is just going to come, between Caden, Chandler, myself, and Falcon. Whoever's hot and just, keeping people fresh. All you got to do is make the playoffs. No reason to, push, throw your arm out, in the regular season. So
Talking to you, Jason. Talking to you.
Just get in the playoffs, and then hopefully fresh arms, and like I said, just that depth aspect is gonna give the Mambas be able to replace a rear. It's hard to do. Happy for him. I'm not no hard feelings. Going team to team I think is good for the league. Making teams better and just getting that talent all widely spread around the league rather than on one team or sticking to the same team as one player might isn't as fun as switching teams, and just gives it a new aspect this year than last year. So no hard feelings there. Happy for him. So
Yeah,
I do want to say,
yeah, go ahead.
if I had to give Chandler a pro comp, it's you, 100%. He's not really much of a pitcher. He hits nukes, man. The one he had off Will Smithy, the tournament, roped that ball.
Yep, that's the biggest. That's why he was at 4 for me. I wasn't at the full tournament, so I didn't see him a ton. I came in and that semi, like I literally got there right before that.
Guy was the 30th entrant in the Royal Rumble.
I got there right before like that semifinal game or whatever. But yeah, I saw him hitting over there, saw the videos, and then I really didn't see that much. I know he hit Smithy in them. So awesome. I mean, kudos to him. Even if he's not throwing 100%, he's still, whatever he was throwing there was probably top 10 in our league, if not better than that. So, kudos to him. It was the at-bats against Coop. Facing him in the championship, the at-bats he put against Coop is insane. From seeing Coop for the first time and, putting great swings on him, putting balls in play is just Coop's throwing mid-90s and got a hell of a screwball. It was just wild. So, just that bat is great. Honestly, I think the lineup is just as good, if not better. Supposedly, I haven't really seen much of Caden, but Caden can kind of do the same thing, supposedly. So, 2 really good at bats, and Falcon's only 16, so he's young. So you just getting him those reps, and learning is only going to help. And I know you said Chandler doesn't pitch, but I think he pitches more than people think he does.
He's been
Yeah,
throwing.
he's been working on it.
So
Yeah.
like in their tournaments, he's their number 2.
Yeah.
So he does throw. Falcon's their third pit, like their pool play pitcher. Chandler's their number 2, and Caden's their number 1. So like Chandler does throw, I think, a lot more than some people think. And yeah, he's putting the work in. So I think that's going to be a pleasant surprise for a lot of people too.
Yeah, I got to meet Chandler at the MO WIFF tournament, the MO WIFF Classic last year. Kind of talked to him a little bit, and that first game we had of the day, we played against him. The Purge team did, and I mean he put some screws to a couple pitches and stuff. And I was thinking this kid's going to be something, and then listening to Jaso later in the day saying he's never really pitched,
Yeah.
and seeing what he had done, that day, I was thinking that's something to work on,
Exactly.
And I mean, just knowing the fact that that's what he's probably worked on, and some of these getting more exposure to tournaments, more exposure to, pitching, and just kind of getting used to it, it's just only going to get better.
Yeah.
And make it all better.
I agree.
All right, so you had my favorite moment of the playoffs last year. But go ahead, Grand Slam in Game 2, the first round against the Bombers. Kind of walk us through that moment from your perspective.
Oh man, that was a crazy moment. Obviously the Mambas were kind of put in a bad situation for the playoffs. Second year in a row, unfortunately. Dutton having to miss. Dutton, our ace, missing playoff games is not a good. What do you want to say? A good repertoire for success. You kind of want your ace. So, we had, and not having a rear too, just added on to it as well. But we lost that first game. I threw, so I mean, it was tough. I kind of didn't go in expecting to win. I mean, obviously, like when I'm on the mound, I'm like I compete, so like I think I can win. But it was really kind of just seeing. I hadn't thrown much that year, so it's kind of seeing what I had. Working through some things. I was kind of trusting in Dutton to win Game 2, so bring us back to a Game 3. Shaking off that first loss was hard. I hate losing, so it was hard. That moment was just, it was crazy. Like I think the at bat before Daub took a hell of a walk. Like he had at least 2 strikes on him. I think he took like 2 or 3 straight balls with 2 strikes on him to take the walk, which was like a hell of an at bat. Like that was the at bat that did it. I mean, if he swings, I mean, with 2 strikes, if you just chase a little bit, game's over. So, but yeah, I mean, I was, just looking for a pitch to hit. All we needed was 1, I believe, or maybe 2. I don't know if we were down 1 or tied. I can't 100% remember.
I think you were. I know the count was 2-2, 2 strikes,
Yeah.
bases loaded. You were up, and I think you were down 1.
Yeah, I want to say I think we might have been down 1. So I kind of thought I knew I at least needed a single. I kind of wanted to at least get that lead. So I mean, yeah, I just got the pitch, and I'm always kind of looking to hit it to the right field anyway. I don't like to get ahead and pull the ball. I tend to pull off it sometimes. So.
Yeah, I will say that. Now that you just said that, I think about it. Like the bulk of your missile, the home runs you hit, are hitting to that right center.
Yeah.
And I guess I've never really put it together.
I hit the ball
I need
to
to
right.
learn how to do that.
I hit the ball to the right field a lot.
too.
So that's that's my thing. But yeah, hopefully pitchers don't catch on and keep throwing it outside for me. But.
Yeah, but you're fast enough where you could turn on the inside.
But yeah, I mean, it was a hell of a moment. I just get. I don't know. I hate like talking about myself sometimes. It's like, but yeah, I mean, I was excited. Couldn't have asked to do it. Against my brother too. Well, not against him, but against his team. So added a little extra on there as well. So
I think the only thing that could have made it better if it was against Cole, right? Is that
Yeah, I mean,
sibling rivalry there still? a little
Yeah.
bit?
If Cameron was pitching, it would be even better for sure. But still against his team, I mean, I'm sure like in the situation, Cam would have loved to walk me, but you can't walk me there. So,
Right.
and that all goes down to Michael there. So, if Michael doesn't get on, they have to pitch to me. So,
I mean, Alex told my dad, who was sitting behind it, he goes, I got chills, man. He's going to hit a home run. And I go, 2-2, can Cole have a David Freese moment?
yeah.
Grant, oh my God, it was
Yeah, your
electric.
dad kept talking to me. He's like, you got like he was putting it in my mind,
Yeah.
and I'm like, Doug, stop, Doug, get out of here, Doug, get out of here. Like he's in my ear, and I'm like, Doug, just stop, like, because like I do tend to like sometimes get ahead of myself, like you know, like I always come in in that situation, like I want to be that guy, but you know, sometimes I almost try too hard and swing out of my shoes or chase a pitch that I probably shouldn't have. So just trying to stay calm and collective and just get us to a game 3 to give us a chance. And luckily that was my day. So
I'm overall excited to see how you guys come together. Right, I forgot who it was that said it, called you guys the CI Mambas the other day.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's kind of I mean, as much as it was meant as a joking jab, obviously, just having fun with it, but that kind of works, right? Your team, you got four of you are back from last year. You added the 3 from the prospect from CI. How does it mesh? How, like, that's like the question that's going to be one of those things. But I think as even keeled as you are and how the demeanor of your whole team, I think everybody's going to kind of come together for you guys, and it's going to be a good cohesive bond, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I think that is something I'm looking forward to with you guys.
Yeah, I think that's the good thing about it, if you want to call it the CI Mambas. Like we have 4 guys here with me, Dutton, Eggert, and Parker that have played together for, this will be our 3rd year now. So like we're really close.
Yeah.
You got those 3 guys that are really close. So it's easier to mesh like 2 groups instead of like meshing a group with one guy that's way over here and one guy way over here.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be a lot easier to mesh those guys together. And I think they're going to bring a great new perspective to our team. I try to be even keeled, just I try to put on a good, like, just for the league, like I try to do what's right and not get I don't want to get too into it. Sometimes my competitiveness takes over, but I think these guys are going to bring that competitive level up a notch. These guys like they win everywhere they go. So, these tournaments they win, they bring that just competitiveness and like attitude that I think is going to be good for the Mambas, just to, get us over that hump. So
Big question. And then I have to know it. Who is going to be the one that dances in the box after they get a hit this year? Because I went back and was watching, pulling clips together for, Ryan's interview. And, well, Q pulled them together when Q sent them to me, not me, when I was putting them together. I literally, every hit, and this is after he goes, I'm pretty somber, happy-go-lucky. Then I'm watching these clips of him, like, damn near moonwalking across the plate. Is that going to be you this year? You going to do Irish jig for us?
I don't know.
Every couple hits?
Maybe I'll have to.
Maybe we get Eggert to do that?
Yeah, we'll get everybody maybe like a little dance that when they get a hit, everybody will do a little different dance or something like that. That'd be good. But yeah, I always like that video of over here doing his little shuffle. He it was off. I think that was like his 3rd hit off cam. So like he was having a hell of a night. So he deserved a dance in the box there.
Oh shit, that's funny. That's funny. I don't even think I paid that kind of attention to it.
Yeah, he always hits cam pretty well actually. So that I feel like the Mambas have hit cam pretty well in the past. Parker hits him pretty well. I've seen Cameron a million times, so I pretty much know what he's throwing at this point. And I believe Eggert and Dutton. I've seen them quite a bit now. Going into their 3rd or Eggert's 4th year now, and Dutton's 3rd. So just seeing those pitchers time and time again is only going to help. But yeah, we'll get some dances going for you guys.
Parker to me is I don't know what it is. He's a clutch guy that will hit one as far as anybody that we have on that field.
Yeah.
And there is no with the 4 you got, I mean, even Eggert's run into a couple, hit some line drives to it, in some marquee spots. But I want to go back to playoffs 2023.
Yep.
Dutton hit the farthest ball I've seen hit up there.
That ball was. I
mean, he was even gracious enough to stop at second base and say hi to me.
Yeah.
Maybe because I was talking a little smack. But I mean, with that being said, I mean, you guys already have the 3 of you can run into one at any time. Adding these 3 where they're going to be the kind of the same way. We're going to get to see it. With the kind of the more consistently with them in the league. I mean, I don't think that, and I say this respectively for everybody involved, I don't think losing O'Rear is going to be as big as a question mark as the Archers losing Jordan. And I mean, I kind of talked with Rory about that because of the fact that, like what you alluded to, them 3 already playing together, already winning tournaments and stuff and coming in. But I'm glad you're not in my division, but at the same time, I hate the fact that O'Rear and Jordan came to my division. Yeah. So it's like, screw it. We're just gonna, you play who you play in front of you, and we're gonna see how it turns out.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody on this team, has had their moments. They have shown what they can do. So I think it's just the next man up. O'Rear's gone, but I think everybody's got, like you said, the potential. Dutton's hit home runs off Jordan, like top 3 pitcher in the league. Eggert got a quick bat, puts balls in play, gets on base, exactly what we need to do, and just to get that back up to the top of the lineup for myself and now Melton, who, I mean, like I said, I think Melton's an easy top 15 hitter in the league, just like from day one. So like getting him more bats and to see these pitchers, I think is only going to go up from there. So.
Alrighty, I kind of got a 2-part question for you.
Okay.
That's the first one. Is this the year that the Mambas win it all in 2025?
I mean, if you're not going into the season thinking you can win it, I don't think you should be playing. So, that's the whole thing with this league. I think every team's good. So, I mean, to say I'm going to win it is going to I think any team saying they're going to win it, might not be 100% right. I think anybody can win it, but going into it, I feel really good about my team. Like I said, the depth aspect is only going to help us. The past 2 playoff runs, I haven't had enough pitching. So like either our ace is out or our 1 and 2 are out. So, having these extra pitchers is only going to, put the Mambas in a better situation to, make a run. So yeah, I think we have a great chance.
Awesome. Well, I mean, that answered my next one. The next one was why, but I'll take it, I mean, the depth, the pitching, adding Chandler, I'm just saying, it could all come together at the right time. All it takes is a couple big games. I mean, look at the Melonheads in 23. I think they got 3rd in their division, beat the Bombers, then beat the Thunderbirds, and then swept the Archers.
Look at the Archers last year. They were 3rd in the division and got to the ship.
They were the 5th seed.
Yeah. I mean, we've been the past 2 years. We've gone to Game 3 in the playoffs, and we didn't have our ace pitching that Game 3. So, that obviously doesn't help. But hopefully Dutton will move his vacations and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, I think the depth is going to be great. But like you said, just we're right there. Getting out of round 1. If we would have won this year, we would have faced the Purge, and or no, we wouldn't have. I think we would have actually faced the Purge.
What?
I think we would have faced the Purge, and we swept the Purge.
Were you the 6th seed?
We were the 4th seed.
Oh, that's right. You got 2nd in our division.
Yeah, so we wouldn't have played the 1 seed. Yeah, so so I believe we would have played the Purge. I mean, we had swept the Purge in the regular season. Obviously,
you did.
Obviously things go different, in playoffs as well. But I would have felt pretty good going into that matchup. So I think we're right there. Just get over that hump, and like I said, hopefully having all this depth here, I don't run into the same situation the past 2 years and not having pitching in Game 3. So. Or just don't make it to Game 3.
All it takes is a couple things to go your way.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we were even in the bottom first. In my head, I'm like, here we go again.
The unexpected heroes or the unexpected things always make it. Paul's homers in 2022, Cheney in 2023. You just never know what's
Both
gonna
against
make it.
us. You had to do that to me. That's
I
all right.
wasn't trying to, but
Sam's
all right.
home run in 2024.
That's true.
I mean, you just.
But the one thing we haven't
Rory.
talked about, and moving on from that, one thing we haven't talked about is, and I forgot to bring it in the intro, 2024 Golden Hands winner,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cole Layton. I completely forgot about that. I apologize.
It's all right.
That's bad
He's
journalism
just
on my
such
part.
a good fielder.
It's
Just
all right.
he won the award. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's well, I'm going to ask 2 quick questions on that. I know you hate to talk about yourself, but unfortunately it's award. You got to talk about what kind of prep work do you do to kind of get yourself prepped to be able to get those hands out there and get that ball? What kind of work do you put in during the season?
Does drinking beer count?
I mean, it can. I mean, what is it? Drink enough beer, just go after the middle ball, or is it?
I mean, I think it just really it's just from my like high school baseball days. You know, just I being in high school, I wasn't like the best hitter. You know, I hit for like a little bit of average, but like other than that, I didn't do anything crazy. Like my best aspect was fielding. So I've always just had good hands. So I think just taking that into play, but I mean, I don't really do anything crazy. I think just keeping warm. Trying not to stand out there, and I try to like run and get balls for the pitcher and things like that, just to kind of stay warm. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just seeing a lot of balls hit your way.
Yeah.
And the award, I think, kind of it's kind of a luck award as well. You gotta have balls hit your way.
Yeah.
If you have 2 stud pitchers, you're probably gonna get a lot of strikeouts and not get balls hit your way. So I think just getting lucky and getting balls hit your way to make the plays is part of it as well.
I do just want to say, completely deserve that award. The one time I go the other way, he turns the wrong way, runs, makes a Willie Mays catch against me that would have been a home run. The one time I go the other way, I hit it to this guy.
That was probably my best play that year.
Oh, that's great.
For sure. But yeah, I mean that is one of my favorite plays actually, like to do in general, like in baseball. That like I always caught the ball before the outfielder because like that was my favorite catch. So like that just brings me doing that stuff brings me back to high school baseball, and that's just like what I love to do. So
Yeah, I guess same for me too. Like as a second baseman, I used to love like over the first baseman's head, third, right fielder coming in, just telling that right fielder to peel out because I mean, I didn't have the longest legs, obviously, not the tallest guy in the world, but I was still fast, and was able to kind of stay low, and I wasn't afraid to just completely Ozzie Smith style backwards dive for anything.
I love those catches; those are the best.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just
catch something on the run and into a chain link fence. Yeah, that was fun for me.
I also am like my team. I'm always like I'll sit. Let other people play the field. Like you guys got to get out there. I'm like no, you guys go play, like stuff like that. But I mean, like I said, I think it wouldn't be there without my pitchers. Getting weak contact as well. That's part of it. If they're hitting rockets past me, I can't make the plays either. So.
And I mean, there's still no flukes either, I mean, yes, slow contact obviously makes it easier, but I mean, you've still made some dandy plays on balls that were smoked. Playing on that mondo service and playing on the turf and, catching balls hit directly at you, at times. Some people miss those sitting on this couch, but, I'm neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
You gotta teach me how to catch a ball sitting down, apparently.
I guess so.
Hey, at least you two did it to each other, okay?
It must be a pretty normal thing.
I mean, that was crazy.
You get up, you're a pussy, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, it's hit.
I hit it right to you.
I mean, it literally was in the air and it went right to me.
Crazy.
You couldn't have scripted that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Cole, I appreciate you. We appreciate you coming on today. Hope you had a good time. I know we did kind of, at maybe Q's expense a little bit there at the end.
That's all right.
All good love. But no, man, appreciate you coming on, and here's off to a hell of a fifth season for you, and capping off just an already outstanding career that you've already had.
Thanks, guys. Yeah,
So, I appreciate you coming on.
I'm excited to get going, and like I said, love what you guys are doing with the pod. Just bringing it more consistently, and I think it's only going to make the league better and people more invested in the league. So it's awesome.
That's what we're trying. That's what we're aiming for. But with that being said, we'll be right back with Mr. Alex Eggert in our segment 2-piece here, so stay tuned.
Tony! Oh my goodness! They did not say 10! Oh my goodness! Aggie! Aggie! Big play! Aggie with his second home run!
Welcome back to the second segment of our 3 Up, 3 Down podcast. And as we continue this off season here, like we promised from the beginning, we were going to have everybody that was lucky enough to win an award from the 2024 season. And to continue with that, we have Mr. Character of the Year, Alex Eggert.
Let's go.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, buddy? Hey, how's your off season been?
It's been good. Just been chilling. Really not a whole lot going on. It's been too cold and snowy to get out there and really do stuff. Just group me chats, like always blowing my stuff up. And other than that, not a whole lot of going on. Just been chilling, taking it easy. So
Spending time with the family?
yeah, spending time with the family, the kids, got sports going on now. Just trying to live my best life.
Got you.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the kids events, do you take pictures like you do of our league, for the kids events?
I try not to. I'll take video and stuff on my phone, but I try not to because I want to really, focus
Good
and
for
be
you.
present and stuff like that. So
Hey, I applaud that. I
yeah,
applaud that.
thank you. But yeah, I do take a lot of videos and pictures on my phone, but not really. I don't bust the camera out a whole lot. So
Got you.
So, Alex, obviously you're one of the most important people in this league. So, honestly, without you, we'd have little to no social media presence outside of YouTube. So, tell us, what was your inspiration to become a photographer?
yeah, so always was interested in photography. My mom does photography, so I kind of got into it early. Started slowly and stuff like that. And as far as taking pictures of the league, prior to taking photos of MO WIFF, I really didn't have a whole lot of experience in sports photography. And so I just wanted to kind of dabble in that a little bit. But honestly, it just came down to back when Josh was the commissioner, I just got a new camera and I texted him. I was like, hey man, got a new camera. Would love to test it out if you want me to take some photos at the games. And he was like, yeah, that'd be great. And then it just kind of really blew up from there. And I just fell in love with the league, just the group of guys that are there every given week, the brotherhood. It's been so awesome. And so I love the league so much. I just want to help it grow. And so try to get out there every week, even if we're not playing, and just take photos so we can kind of pump some stuff out in social media. So I really, really enjoyed taking photos for the league. It's been a blast. And I've learned so much, too, with photography through that time. So
I like some of the angles that we've gotten. Pretty much for those that, follow us on social media, almost every photo that gets put out, whether they're from our graphics that get put out or just photos in general, Alex has taken probably 99.9% of them over the last couple of years since, you've been a part of the league. And I've even used him as for my son's baseball team. He came out, He took some photos for us that ended up being they're pretty rad. They're pretty good. I enjoyed it. But, no, man, it's been one of those things where I love how it's not just action shots, right? It's not just on this. You take everything into perspective. The fact that since we play at Miracle, with the soccer field behind and kind of the way, just the lay of the land, how you put that into kind of take that into consideration. Maybe that's just what a photographer does, but I definitely like the style in which you shoot.
thanks,
It
man.
kind of gives that a very different matte look, but at the same time, very classic, clean look.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I've kind of messed around with different angles and stuff like that. Those early games that are going into the late games, with that sunset
Twilight
over there on the first baseline, I've really tried. I've gotten some pretty neat shots of that angle with the sunset. I know one of my favorite ones was the one of Jordan Smith, with the pink sky and stuff like that. I gotten a couple of really cool ones. With Cam, him tossing the ball up and stuff like that. So I try to play around with some different angles. I've even taken some like behind the strike zone. I think I took one of Dom maybe, where I was kind of like I used the strike zone as a frame and had him in the picture. So I try to mess around with different angles and stuff like that, and get a lot of candid shots as well, and not just all those action shots. So I like to take some pictures of the announcers, the people standing around and stuff like that, just to give a little perspective to those outside people of what it's like on a Thursday night out there.
Yeah, I definitely think you definitely hit that essence of the whole crowd and everything else that's going on behind scenes, not just what's going on in the field. But that that character of the year award, right? Given to somebody who really exemplifies what they've done for the league. Not necessarily on the field, but off the field. Obviously, taking the pictures and everything, that's a big part of that. But I don't know how many times I've been kind of like just something happened, I swing and strike out on something bad, or just hit a pitch that I should, and I toss my bat, and I'm walking towards you, because that's just the way I'm going, and you make some, just not a negative remark, but some remark or something kind of get me out of that funk. And I mean, to me, that's always appreciated, right, for me, because it just kind of go from, completely ticked off to, okay, let it go, let it roll off the back, on to the next, more than anything. So for that, I appreciate you, sir.
Yeah, no problem, man. That's what I said. Like, you come to the field Thursday night and everyone's there to greet you. Just that brotherhood. Everyone, you have that competition and that hardcore stuff, but like, you got to remember, like, it's just a game. We're all there just having fun and just hanging out and stuff like that. So really enjoyed just getting to know everybody, and being there so much with taking pictures and stuff like that, I have been able to get to know people from all different teams and stuff, and so it's just been really awesome. And the award, yeah, like I was pretty shocked that I got it. I mean, there's tons of people that were deserving of it, and it's like really an honor to be able to get that award. And so yeah, I mean, with photography, I just, like I said, I love the league. I want to see it grow in that way. And yeah, so it's just been a lot of fun just to be a part of. So
For sure.
So kind of getting into the Mambas, going into year 4 with them, how are you feeling about this year?
I'm feeling good. We've had a couple things not really go our way in the last couple years, but we have a really good group. We have kind of that core. Is it the core 4? Is there 4 of us, I think? Yeah. That core 4 coming back the last few years, and then we have this CI Prospects team coming over. So I think we're really going to mesh well together, because, we've been playing together the last few years. They've been playing together. And then I think just to be able to mesh like that, and just the synergy that we'll be able to do, I think will be huge. Sure. Bringing those guys over that can hit the crap out of the ball, can throw a little bit, and then just the personalities and stuff like that. I don't know the 3 guys too well, but I did see them and meet them at the tournament, the MO WIFF tournament, and seemed super awesome. So I'm just excited to get the league rolling, because I think we can bring the boom this year. 5 booms.
God.
And so
Again, I would not put my money was on Cam to bring that into the podcast before you did, but before anybody else. But anyways, go ahead.
So yeah, I think we can bring the boom. I mean, we have guys like Parker hit the crap out of the ball last year. He was clutch.
Yep.
I remember, I think it was the last game of the year, he hit that bomb to right field. And then Dutton hit the absolute tar out of a ball, almost to the highway. And when he's rolling on the mound, it's hard to hit him. So I am glad I don't have to face him every week. But then you have Cole. I'm just going to say top 2 hitter in the league, and he's not number 2. And so
I like that.
He just the group that he's brought together from outside and inside the league is awesome, and I'm just super pumped to be a part of that for a few years now. I think this is my 4th year with the Mambas.
You're in the same boat as us. We were all part of the same draft class.
Yeah, that's right. So just super pumped to be a part of such a good group of guys. So
sure.
Alrighty. So week 1 of last year, you made play of the year. Kind of a impromptu running dive thing. I don't even know what to call it. You kind of
Did he dive? Did he hit the ground?
I
No.
didn't dive, no.
He like was running and reached his arm out and caught the ball, which would have walked it off for the Archers, I believe. It was bases loaded, would have walked it off for the Archers.
Yeah, bases loaded, tied, one out, because I remember they didn't tag.
That's right, they didn't tag.
And then I think the next batter hit a little ground ball to second, I believe. And I think that's what happened. I think Parker gobbled it up. And so, yeah, I mean, shout out to Cole. He does a great job at kind of positioning us. And so I play outfield a lot just because of the height. And so, you know, I don't mind that at all. I love playing outfield. And so just being able to snag some of those home runs. But yeah, he positioned us well. I remember it being cold, and it was an absolute missile by Tony, and it started to die. And I guess I just got a good jump on it, stuck my hand out, and to be honest, that ball like really caught me. Like it was like, I felt like it was like stuck in my hand. It was the most wild thing. And then got it, anticipated them calling tag. So I was like, okay, I got to throw it in. Ended up not yelling tag. And yeah, and then Dutton, I believe he was on the mound. He got a big pitch that next batter to ground out. We lost in the home run derby, but that was just a blast to be a part of that, especially that first week. There were so many big moments that first week, and just to kind of be a part of that was pretty cool. So got a shout out on the TikTok, so that was pretty cool too, with that play. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, I think that play is gonna. Maybe we need to get that. Let's get that play clipped and put that part of his intro packet.
Okay.
For sure. So let's. Obviously, you know, the photography. That's not your only job and everything that way. It's a big passionate about it. Briefly, if you're comfortable with it, you know, one of the coolest things that I know about you personally, all right, is kind of what you do on a daily basis for your career. So if you wouldn't mind, I mean, if you don't want to, you know, we can cut this out. But if you wouldn't mind kind of talking about it, because I believe these segments are not just always about talking wiffle ball, but getting to know people a little bit better. You know, especially, you know, the managers are stuck. They're going to talk about their teams, right?
Yeah.
But when you have, you know, one-offs and stuff this way, you know, I love to get to know the people just as much. So if you wouldn't mind kind of telling everybody who doesn't already know, kind of a rundown of what you do for a living.
Yeah. So for the last 15 years, you know, doing multiple things. I have experience with working with individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So like I've done everything from like a direct support professional to working in special ed. And so I've had an opportunity in all different avenues in that field to do that. And so right now I'm working for a pretty large organization in St. Charles called Emmaus Homes. And so they provide services for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So they have staff come into the clients' homes and help them with their daily goals and their daily tasks. So usually there's like 3 or 4 clients living in one home, and then staff come in to work with them. And so I'm actually in the staff education department. And so what we do is we train the staff. So any new hires that come in, we train them on things like abuse, neglect, CPR, how to release from a grip, how to restrain, just those classes that they need in order to, you know, work with these individuals. And then also we train, we have about 500 staff at the company. And so we train them annually on things like CPR, assisted or different things like different lifts, ceiling lifts, home lifts, van training, how to hook someone that utilizes a wheelchair up in the van. So we just make sure that the staff are ready and prepared to work with these individuals that have disabilities. So I've been here in this role for about a year. Absolutely love it. Love the team that I work for. And I've always loved teaching and the education aspect of it. And so I just love training. And, you know, besides doing photography, my biggest passion is working with individuals with disabilities, and so I've done it for quite a while now, and just absolutely love it. So
That's awesome, man. Like I said, I appreciate you sharing.
yeah.
But yeah, you got anything else for him, Q?
Yeah. So, as a fellow Raiders fan,
Oh.
So, what made you become a Raiders fan?
Yeah, so
I'll let you two bromance out there.
Rams left. I think everyone was hurt by that. I'm gonna throw a screw Cronky in there. But Rams left. They got taken away from us again. And so I didn't want to follow them to LA because I was bitter, right? And I didn't want to be a fan of a team just because they were close.
Exactly.
Didn't want to go for the Chiefs. Absolutely disliked them and the fans very much. And so I kind of did some shopping, looked around, had a couple of teams in the final three, and ultimately decided to go with the Raiders because I just always appreciated that bad boy mentality, hit you in the mouth.
So you're a Detroit Pistons fan too?
The Bo Jacksons, the Howie Longs, the Bill Romanowskis, those guys that are just going to punch you in the mouth. And so when I became a fan of them, they weren't that great, and they're still garbage.
Yep.
So you can't say that I'm a bandwagon fan. But when I became a fan, they had the car. I was a big Latavius Murray guy. Loved Latavius Murray, Amari Cooper, those guys. And so, I decided I was going to go all in on them. And, it's been a lot of fun. I love wearing my Raiders gear out in public and getting nasty looks. It's my favorite thing ever. And so, wearing my Raiders beanie and watch parents grab their kids and be like, oh, let's go this way, right? Because obviously I'm a felon if I'm a Raiders fan.
Yeah,
So.
they see the tattoos.
Yeah,
see the tattoos of the Raiders. You're like, oh, he's like, no, let's go over here.
Yeah, true story. So.
Then you look at the tattoos. It's like, oh, okay, they're harmless.
Yeah. So, and plus silver and black, best colors in the ever.
Absolutely.
And so
Best
best uniforms. Yep, best jerseys in the league. Not even close.
Best stadium.
So
I haven't been there yet. I haven't been there. I haven't been to Vegas in 16, almost 17 years.
Oh, really? I've never been, but a couple years ago, my dad and I went to the Monday night game in Kansas City. So went down there early, tailgated, and that was the game where we had the ball at midfield. There was probably less than a minute left. We were down by 1. It was 4th and 2, and Renfro cut in and Adams cut out, and they ran into each other. And Carr threw it and it hit nobody. But that was the game where Carr hit Adams for a 60-yard
4th and 1
touchdown.
Play action bomb.
So it was a lot of fun. I mean, that's all I wanted really was a good game, close game, and we got it. So, but yeah, love the Raiders till I die. So.
Heck yeah, I love it.
Till I die.
So, hey man, do you have any questions for us?
Ooh, that's hard, man.
Flip the question. We forgot to do that, Cole.
We can bring back in.
Any questions for you guys?
You
what's your
asking
favorite thing about doing a podcast together? I feel like you guys work well together. You bounce ideas off each other well. So what's your favorite thing about putting a podcast together and having these people come in and talk about themselves?
I'll let you go first.
I just listen to what everyone has to say. I don't get to talk to everybody often. I only get to see them a couple months out of the year, and to talk to people about how they're feeling and what they're doing over the off season, and also listening to people that are better than me and have been playing for 20 years. It's one thing to play with people that have been playing longer than I've been alive, but it's another thing to talk to them and get to know them.
Yeah,
kind of pick their brain a little bit, but man, it's a blast. I love talking to people. I love listening to what people have to say, and I mean, working with Brian is it's so much easier. I mean, he does a lot of the work. I'll give him credit.
He almost said he does all the work.
He does.
Almost said
honestly, I would say you do 95% of the work. It's your basement, your equipment. I just come here prep with questions and talk, so I'd give you credit for that. Kudos to Brian.
I probably should put more on you. No.
I mean,
I know.
I'll
Hey,
do it.
anything I've ever asked you to do, you do it fairly. You do it faster than I expected, and it's always there, and I love it.
See, I feel like I procrastinate. I'm like, I got to do this. No, makes me feel better that I do it quick enough.
Okay. But for me, it's ultimately, everybody knows their role and everybody's got a place in this league, right? I am in no way, shape, or form am I an upper echelon player. When it comes to you look at these captains and everything, it's like every captain that is their team's one or two, right? Whether it's on the mound or they're one at the plate. Not me. It's just one of those things where I know my role and where I want to help expand the league, and I can help in the ways that I know how. I'm a people person, social butterfly. Been that way my entire life. I talk to people for a living, so why not have fun with it? Doing the podcast is a little, just something where, we've turned it into our little art, me and Q have. But creating something, taking what Cam and Adam and, Rory and Josh had already, have been doing, and kind of, okay, this is what they've done. This is how they've moved it forward. How do we move it forward and put our own stamp to it? And so, I mean, that was kind of what we wanted to do. We never wanted to change the name. We wanted to keep the name the same, but change up maybe the style, to where it's not just wiffle ball talk, but it's all wraps around it. But we get to know the people that we're playing with our leagues, within our league a little bit different. I've learned more about the game of wiffle ball period from doing this, deeper than I ever thought, talking with people. Got to meet some pretty interesting characters that, we've got slated for some interviews in the coming weeks that have nothing to do with Mo Wiff, but everything to do with wiffle ball.
There you go.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. But it's just stuff like that to where I want to help build the league, and this is how I can do it. Me and Q, we make the joke saying that we hostile takeover of the podcast, but that's kind of what happened. But, at the same time, we knew there was so much on the plate already of Cam. Rory's, kids are only, are more active than mine. I've got more free time in my hands, so this is how I can help. So, I mean, that's kind of what why and
Nice.
what I've kind of learned and done with it all.
It's awesome.
Yep. But,
yeah.
No, man, I love that question. That's a good question.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you guys having me on here.
For sure.
And yeah, no doubt. And just out, just for the league, the Mambas are coming, baby. Mamba mentality. They're coming.
I love it.
I love it too. I'm a Lakers fan.
Yeah.
Mamba mentality.
Oh, I was going to say first, that left my mind for a minute. Oh, I feel so bad. I'm like, how did those two tie together? Wow. That's on me.
Yeah.
I'll take the L there.
That's right. They're winning today. They're beating Denver. Go Lakers. Go Lakers.
So, how can people kind of to kind of wrap it up here a little bit? Want to be able people to see your photography.
Yeah. Man.
What is it? Just social media that you have? You got the website? What all?
Yeah.
Where can people go?
So right now I have a Facebook business page and an Instagram.
Okay.
And so literally just my name, Alex Eggert Photography.
And we'll make a little graphic at the bottom here for you. That way people can easily get to your handle.
And you'll see a lot of my wiffle ball photos that I throw on there that I really like. Also do family photos, sports photos, senior photos, maternity, all of it. So
perfect.
Yeah, fairly open right now. So yeah, if anybody wants to get photos, just shout me out and we'll get it happening.
Well, good deal.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
me and Q both, we appreciate you taking the time out of your day and stepping away from the family, and to Cole as well for doing that as well. Sorry, we forgot to mention that with him as well. But no, with that being said, we'll be right back with Mr. Rory Rank, and we're gonna go over the Archers preview for the 2024 season or 2025 season 5 season. Welcome back to our third segment here in our 3 Up 3 Down podcast. Now joining us is a 3-time All-Star, 2022 first overall draft pick, and 2022 Rookie of the Year. Last year he batted .333 with 21 hits, 3 bombs, and 14 RBIs in the regular season. But then in the playoffs, he hit 3 homers and had 10 RBIs as well. Mr. Rory Rank.
What's going on, boys? I'm back.
Buddy? Hey, you're back.
Hey.
Back. How you been, man?
Man, I've been great, man. I'm ready to play some wiffle ball. I tell you what, I'm glad you guys are doing these podcasts now. It's freed up a little bit of time. You guys are doing a great job. So But I'm glad to be back on tonight, man, and talk some wiffle ball.
Sure,
Love
for sure,
it,
man.
love it. All right, hey, so second year being the Archers captain. Well, what's the difference between this year's team and last year's team?
Big differences. We don't have a MVP caliber player like Jordan Smith on our team. That's going to be something new for me. I've only played with Jordan in this league, so now going into the fourth season for me, the fifth season for Mo Wiff, man, I'm going to see what we got with the three rookies, the two younger guys that we have, and see how we fare, man. We're getting younger. I like that. As I'm getting older, they're getting younger.
So with that being said, let's dig into that. I mean, you had the third overall pick in the draft where you took Mr. James Klein. You know, you talked younger, 16 years old. We've beat that to a bloody pulp on this podcast previously, so we'll leave it at that for here on out. Drew Maurer at the first pick in the second round when you traded up. You traded with the Melonheads, right? Yeah, traded with the Melonheads, so they traded into that first round. Then you picked the wild card in Coulter Rance. How much time have you got to spend talking with your new teammates and kind of get to know them a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, not as much as I'd like. I'm pretty busy, but I have texted all of them, and they've all responded. They're excited. James is definitely pumped up. I seen it on your podcast when he was on there. I loved everything he said because I was going to say when I think James fell to me at the right spot because James is going to get a lot of playing time like that. He's going to play a lot. And so with the Archers, I mean, we need that guy. And so I hope he sounds like he's ready to show out. He's going to get a great chance to show out for my team. Picking up Maurer was something I actually, didn't know if I was going to get him. I had, a couple other options. Livingston, I even texted you and said, how's Livingston look on the back of an Archers jersey? I anticipated it was going to be one of those two guys. And then, we made that trade to move back knowing that Maurer was potentially going to be there, and the Melonheads got their guy, and luckily I kind of get to root for the Melonheads to fail this year as that increases the value of my pick. So that kind of all falls in line with how things go around here. But no, I mean, in all seriousness, Jason got a guy that he wanted, I got my guy that I wanted, and then Rance, rounding out the draft for me. This guy's excited, man. I've texted him a lot, and I'm excited to see what he can do. We were even texting today, so I can't wait to get that guy on the Mo Wiff field.
For sure. Yeah, I got a little chance. I mean, not as much as probably you did. I think I was looking for a photo to put for the graphic for the draft video, and like I looked up his number, through the registration. I was like, "Hey, weird question for another man to ask another man, but do you have a picture, of you?" And I was like, I don't want to be stalking the Facebook unless that's what I see. And then I ended up doing that anyways because I was just trying to get get my pattern going, and I found a picture of him, and he ended up sending me the colored version of what I pulled out the Facebook, which was in black and white. But I mean, just talking to him, he sounded so excited, and I was like, that's awesome. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of sat there and was thinking, maybe I should look at that because I watched his video that he posted, and I'm thinking, man, even in a part-time role, just to be able to come in. But, I ended up going the route of, I'm happy with the way I went, kind of holding that 8 spot out, bringing Mark back with the Thunderbirds and stuff. I figured that'd be, A in the league and B good for the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to just piggyback on that real quick. That was kind of my plan too. But having Rance there, I wasn't sure if anybody would take him or not. And he's just one of those guys that I hope get into the league because I wanted to say, he kind of reminded me of somebody that I know that just didn't know anybody in this league, found it and reached out and ended up being drafted. And so, kind of, brought a little likeness home for me on that. So I'm excited to see what he's got. I had to take a chance on him.
Oh yeah, for sure. Talking about the makeup of your team real quick.
Okay.
You've got you, Tony, Jay Rich, you three of you guys played a long time together. And for some people, some people know the story, right? You've told the story about how you guys played together and, Lawa and everything. But to our new listeners and everything, kind of walk us through that a little bit quick, where you guys came from and what your kind of wiffle ball original story is. And please, 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 please talk about that bat that's hanging over your head.
Oh, dude, finally somebody asked me about that. This is great. So I'll tell you about the story about the bat first. So this bat is from the 1970s. It's one of the only few black official wiffle ball bats. And I found this bat at a family auction, an estate sale. And I was going to bid on it, but they threw some random equipment in with it. And I was like, $10 is too much. I didn't even know if it was official. I walk up to the guy and I go, hey, I'll give you $1 for that bat. And he goes, yeah, I don't care. Dude, this bat's worth like $200. Look it up. It's for real. It's an OG black. It was when they had the oil embargo and they could only make them black. So I've been waiting for someone to ask me. I appreciate it, Brian. Finally, dude. I love it.
Dude.
So yeah, that's the story on that bat. I will bring it to anybody who wants to check it out. It's pretty sweet. So can't use it.
Now
Though.
not to cut you off about it. Yeah, don't use it for sure. Not to cut you off now about it. Every podcast that you and Cam did, I seen that bat, and I'm thinking, I'm gonna ask him about that bat next time I see him. And then I never flipping did. And then I'm sitting there like, no, today's the day. When you logged in and I saw it, I was like, nope, today's the day. I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, I'm so proud of it, man, because like you can look it up online and Google it. There's not many of it. There's hardly any. So there's only some other wooden wiffle ball bats that are like Yugoslavian knockoffs that are worth like a couple thousand. I don't have one of those, but I'm pretty proud of that thing, and I've been waiting for someone for a year now to ask me about it. So I love it.
Got you. So getting back to the question, the story about you boys kind of coming together with Lawa, and how you guys met, and kind of go through that.
Okay, sure. So I've told this story a couple times on the podcast even, but to briefly just recap, when I got to college, chat rooms were the only really social media you had, and I found this website called wiffleball.net. And I knew I was decent at wiffle ball, but I didn't know if I was good, comparative. And I got in with a group of guys, the Dead Rabbits from St. Louis. And so I joined their team after playing against them in a tournament. Fast Plastic was big, got in with Fast Plastic, we had Dead Rabbits. That team kind of went downhill. I played with the Marshalls, Alan Leday, who was with the Cajuns now, and a guy named Rodney Duke. And then we were a pretty good team. Billy Owens was another guy that was on there. And then we also went for Fast Plastic, and then life happens, right? So job, and just couldn't. I worked odd shifts, couldn't keep playing. The Lawa though formed in 2008 from guys that played in Fast Plastic, Dead Rabbits, and then it was just you tell your friends, and we grew to about 20 guys. We played we played 1 week in a month, where Tony comes into the picture, Jay Rich comes into the picture, and we just played from 08 to basically 2019. And then, I found MO WIFF in 21 and then got in 22. I brought Jay Rich and Tony with me, and I knew they'd be great. Tony's a character. Jay Rich loves the league and playing, wiffle ball. I wish I could bring more Lawa guys, but we're all in our upper 40s. So, I'm in lower 40s. They're in upper 40s and in between. So, it's a kind of on the way out for them, but this is our last grasp at greatness here. And, that's where I come from, and I'm glad I joined this league, man. It's been a good time.
For sure.
Great, man. Love to hear it. So, kind of getting back to Mo WIFF. So what is kind of your role that you're looking to take this year? You added all those young pieces, like you said earlier.
Yep.
So are you going to look to take a step back, or are you going to insert yourself even more?
That's a great question, Q. Here's the role I'm going to take on: mentor, guy that's going to hopefully teach the game to these guys that I've drafted. But I'm not taking a back seat. I plan on delivering big hits, just like I've been trying to do the last couple of years. Timely hits. I want James to pitch with a 10-0 lead. I want Drew Maurer to come into the game and know that he's got guys that can hit the ball right behind him. Or if Tony's pitching, to show, hey, patience, guys. We're going to get this guy a run. We're going to win this game. If we're down by 1, don't give up. That just little things that, they're going to pick up over time anyway. But I want to be the guy that kind of helps take these guys to the next level. James Klein, Drew Maurer, Colter Rance. I want these guys to learn something from me as the season goes on.
Gotcha. So with all this, we'll just get to the bottom of it. What does the post Jordan Smith era look like for the Archers? I know you kind of alluded to it a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you replace that arm and that bat in that lineup?
I don't know. We're going to find out. We we rode Jordan to death the year before last, you know, and I want to take some pressure off of him. And I really think we showed that the Archers are a team. It's not just Jordan, and that's not a shot at Jordan. That's what I wanted to do, and we just fell short again. But you know, not having Jordan is going to be something where it's going to be fun to play against him. I've never faced Jordan, so you know, I got that to look forward to. Like, it's going to be awesome because I think that we can hit him. Like, I'm anticipating. I've seen him throw enough now to where I'm hoping that when I play against him, it's a positive for me. But I mean, dude, I added a guy that throws in the upper 90s. How am I going to even be sad about that? Like, that has excited my team more than anything that could have happened, is having James Klein, the most lively arm arguably in the draft. And dude, we're ecstatic, man. You can't put enough on that.
All right.
Okay.
You've been alluding to it the whole time. You talked about James, talked about the youth, talk about the post-Jordan era. You've made the championship the last 2 years. You guys have yet to win a game in the championship.
Damn.
Is this the year? Is this the year that you guys finally get over the hump?
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, I would never sit here and say this is not the year that I think we can get it done. I hate that, man. I hate being the guy that's been to the dance twice. You know, I'm turning into the Buffalo Bills of the MO WIFF League, man. You know, they hit one wide right here. But it's like, you know, I hate it. I don't want that to be my legacy, but at the same side, like I'm happy where we've been. We've been in each of those championships. You know, the one against the Melonheads, we were living on borrowed time. James Chaney sent us to the championship, and you know, if I can pitch, I think that championship looks a little different, and that's just because we only had two pitchers. We had Jordan and Ethan. So, you know, it's like, man, I hate that. That's how that ended up. And then the second, this last year against you guys, those were good games, man. Those were well played, tight games where the guy who stepped up won it first team, and that's how it works. I mean, you can't be. I'm not sad about that. You guys earned it, and it was a great matchup, and it was fun. And just if we get back there, hopefully that's us this year. We step up.
I'm gonna follow up on that question. Why? What is the reason that the Archers are going to get over this hump?
Ooh, that is a good question, man. You know, I think the first thing that comes to mind is I got James Klein. I mean, that's
Oh, he's
how
gonna
I feel
love that
about
you
it.
said
I mean,
that.
he gets us over the hump because he's the second hardest, if not the hardest thrower in this league. And I don't want to put any undue pressure on him. I want him to have fun. I want him to play his game, and I want him to know he has some OG vets behind him that are going to find ways to manufacture runs. And there's no reason to press on the mound. Throw your game. We got you.
Dude, that's going to be one of the things that's going to be fun to watch, is like that you got that OG vet. You know, I like how you said that, kind of alludes to that, because me and Q were talking. It was like kind of leads into the question that, you know, everybody wants to know, but I'm going to let Q ask it. But it's going to be kind of seeing where that pressure comes from. I mean, if that pressure comes, right? If he's able to maintain. I mean, I know the kid's pitched in some high leverage situations in games previously throughout his career, but you know, coming in that night one, playing your cousin's team, how does he keep it? You know, but
Yep.
Ask the question.
Right. Well, night one, 6 p.m. You get the rematch of the championship the year prior. You lose Jordan, but you add James. But you also have Tony Cochran, who pitched lights out in the playoffs. Turn back the clock, so to say. Who gets the start, James or Tony?
Man, I'd love to tell you, but that would ruin the surprise, would it? So,
Oh,
love the question, but
no.
non-committal, man. No way. No way.
Too much
I
build
thought that was coming. I
we
thought
should
you were
just hit
going to
him.
have, you know, I love it. That makes it fun for me. So
All right.
I like the answer.
Yep. No doubt.
Shit. So I would be very remiss if I didn't take the time, taking a podcast veteran like yourself, Mr. Roy Rank. And what advice you got? You know, what advice you got for me and Q, Kenda, to help us move forward? Because we're learning stuff and like learning what works, what doesn't work, week by week, shoot by shoot, segment by segment. Because sometimes, you know, we take 3 days to shoot 3 segments just because that's how the schedule flies. But What advice you got for us, man?
Man, it's hard to give you guys advice. You guys are killing it. Me and Cam took this podcast and went like the old school podcast of just dudes talking. And you guys are stepping up your game. You got some great graphics. You just got great flow. I love your guys's the method you're doing things, the lead-ins, the questions. You're cutting clips in with people, man. You make it fun to watch on YouTube. So it's hard for me to give you advice. Again, I was just a guy talking on here, talking wiffle ball. But like I said, I don't have any advice. Just keep it up, man. And the only other thing I was going to ask Q is, Q, you've done some great hot takes, and I appreciate it, because when I got on here to do these podcasts, I said, listen, man, I want to say things. I want to be entertaining, but not everything's kumbaya all the time. So, Q, are you ready for the heat for your hot takes that you have?
Yeah, I knew that was a risk kind of coming into it. I said it on the ride back from MO WIFFs, and I said it on the first episode. I'm here for the hot takes. I'm ready to back up anything. If I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to tell you that. Listen, I was wrong, but I'm saying what I think. But I'm ready for it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'm man enough to admit that.
Dude, I spawned a whole meme of a season just from one hot take, so I know how it goes. You're doing a great job, both of you guys, and I'm telling you, man, I'm glad to be watching it again versus producing it and creating it, because you guys have taken it to a level that it needed to go, and again, nothing but hats off to you guys.
We appreciate it, man. We appreciate that. So let's put back on the podcast host hat. All right.
All right.
I know you just asked Q a question. Maybe you got one. Maybe you got another one. If not, we can end it. We can figure something out. But what questions you got for us, man?
Yeah, I got a question for you, Brian. So, first year manager, man, you've been through 2 managers, 3 managers, kind of. So, man, are you ready for these big calls you have to make? I mean, it's tough when you look somebody in the eyes and you say, hey, you're not the guy, you're the guy. They don't deliver. Are you ready?
So I was very upfront and honest with each and every single one of them Thunderbird boys when I came in, right? Let everybody know, look, I have no problem being another Doug Meyer if need be. Okay. obviously, call a spade. You put my stats up against the stats of the boys that are already on that roster, I'm riding the pine pony. All right. Plain and simple. All right?
Man.
I may take a little bit better at bat, and the older I've gotten and the more I've been in the league where I'm seeing the pitching and everything. But when it comes down to it, the hot hand is always going to ride. Okay. So with that being said, I was 100% honest with everybody, told them exactly what I was thinking, how I was feeling. To the point to where even when I had the free agent conversations with Rogers and Willenbrink, and Spencer, about his batting, pitching, obviously. Yeah, no, that's going to play. But batting and stuff, and that's something he's been focused on this whole damn winter, getting better. And I've seen him 2 times now. I said 3 on the last podcast, but it's only been 2 times. But I've seen him, and I've seen him against good quality pitching. And I mean, he's taking care of some business, taking a lot better hacks, and gotten himself a lot better in this offseason. So I mean, that's what's going to be. It's going to be these boys are going to force my hand. All right. But the hardest thing I could possibly ever done. Now, I work in recruiting for my career. All right. I've worked in retail where I've ran stores and sales team. I've hired people. I fired people and not batted an eye, because when it came to that, you did it to yourself. All right. The night that I called and told Mark that I was not going to re-sign him when free agency started and everything, was one of the hardest phone calls I've ever had to have in my life.
Right.
So that's it. Ain't nothing going to compare to that. His heart's black as can be, but I mean, I still care. We all know I still care about things. But I mean, it's going to be one of those things where that trust and respect, and I have nothing but respect to everybody, is going to go each way. And it's a team effort, right? It's going to be my call at the end of the day, but I'm definitely going to get my insight on what we should do. I've kind of shown that already this offseason with how we drafted. I shared, we're sitting at 2. These are the 3 guys potentially we're going to be picking from. everybody give me your views. Here's how I rank them from my big board. Here's why. And I mean, kind of got everybody chirped in and chimed in and kind of voiced their own opinion about it. And we had an adult conversation about it. And we made a team, decision. Obviously, when Brody's sitting there too, it's like, yeah, done. That was a no-brainer. But I mean, there was discussion of, do we let the rich get richer with you? It was going to happen either way.
Right.
You Brody, or you were, you were going to get Klein once we knew Wheeler was going number 1. So I was like, I'll give you Klein.
You got a big compliment that you're considered the rich of the Mo WIFF.
Well,
yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah.
What I'm saying is 2 finals. Yeah, back-to-back years. So that is what it is. Mr. Mojo Man over here wants to talk about his championship and everything.
Oh,
but, it is what it is. You still got, we still got to the dance. I did everything in my power I could do to help us try and win a championship in 2023.
I just watched that game literally like 2 hours ago. That was Ethan Bailey, man. I'm surprised his arm didn't fall off.
Yeah.
It was an amazing performance. It probably doesn't get talked about enough. The guy just threw his heart out, man.
Through 8 innings.
Yep.
Yeah. Dude, he was gassed at the end of it. I remember that.
And Brian, you did a great job, man. You just kept delivering for us. I honestly wear that one probably the worst out of all of them. I felt like I let us down, made a defensive bungle, but just didn't deliver the big hit. But yeah, Brian, you stepped up, got those hits off Eichenlaw. But man, Ethan Bailey just freaking gave it everything he had, man.
Yeah, I will say Ethan may be one of the most, I'm not going to say underappreciated because I know how you feel about him. Rory, we've talked about it. And,
yes.
And I know what kind of player and what he means to, NWA and stuff. And, with the league that he plays down in Florida with, he's a damn good little ball player, down there. But I mean, I think undervalued here a little bit. What'd you say, Q?
I said, did you just call someone little?
Okay. I mean,
I'm just kidding. I love you, Brian.
Sorry. The
I'm
5'6" person made a joke about somebody who's 5'8", 5'9", maybe. Anyways,
I make no
on.
short jokes ever because obviously.
I'm only going to make the one because I'm only 5'8". I'm 5'8". So
okay, all right.
That's the only one.
You spend too much damn time with me for me not to get my mind going. All right. I try and keep it professional here. Okay. We keep things between the beacons, but, no, man. I mean, but long story short, close to the question. It's going to be a team. It's going to be a team decision or a team conversation with ended up being whatever gets decided is going to fall on my mind. We win with my decision, we lose with my decision. I'll be perfectly fine because I feel like that I have been empowered already to make the best decision from my team. So there's that.
Yeah, I mean it's being a manager in Mo WIFF is tough, man. I mean if you really want to break it down, there's a lot of things go into it. There's a lot of emotions that are into it, but it's kind of difficult, putting yourself in a position to win, but you don't want to just be a dictator and get guys to where, they don't want to play no more. I mean, that's no fun for anybody. And I definitely think there's a fine line of competitive but fun and trying to find that balance.
And I think putting it back in the players' hands. It's like, one thing that I applauded Tom for last year, right? Was, and I wish maybe we would have done it earlier in the season, but we didn't, I don't know if he didn't think about it or he didn't want to, put it out there or whatever. I don't know. You want to play in game 2, get on base game 1, just get on base, take a walk, get a hit,
right.
Something when you got a roster of 8 like we got now, Brody's not going to be there first couple weeks. My review is coming in a couple weeks. So, we'll hold that off, but, I'm sure that same kind of question will be asked. But I mean, it's just kind of this roster. I shaped this roster around it. I tried to make it as with my scheduling with when I asked, when Cam asked for requests, I tried to make it as fair as possible. It shook the way it shook. Maybe not exactly ideal for everybody on my team, but at the same time, they saw what that I tried and I put my best foot forward to make it happen. So that's kind of there, and that's how to play. When who's there, then we write it. So we'll figure it out.
Yep. Ride with who's there, man.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all you can do.
Oh, well. Any other questions from you, Roy?
No, no questions. Just man, I heard the last podcast. I was like, how far is it out from March 27th, man? That's all I want to know, man. I'm ready to go.
From shoot date today, it's Wednesday the 19th. Hey Siri, how many days till March 27th?
I have a countdown. I just lost my cellular device.
It's 36 days from today.
Let's go. I'm ready.
So when this podcast drops, it'll be Tuesday. So this will be 7 days out? So 29 days from when this podcast drop, I believe.
Under a month.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
If I'm wrong on the date, because I'm just trying to do math here, if I'm wrong on the date, I'll just cover my mouth with the actual number.
Put it up there.
Look graphic.
Love it.
Going. But no, man, 20. We're right at a month out.
And then it'll go by in a blur, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be good. God, I can't wait. Got my merch in. I'm just pumped, ready to go, man. But no, with that being said, Roy, thank you so much for making time for us tonight. We do appreciate you coming on and just shooting the shit with us and having a good time. It was a great time with you tonight.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me, man. I've missed it a little bit, if I'm being honest, and you guys have totally brought it back for me, man. So I appreciate you guys having me on. It's been fun, and just talking Wiffle Ball, being on here, and getting that hype for the league. Love it. I love it.
Gotcha. Well, all right, man. I appreciate it. But with that being said, me and Q will be right back to take us home. Q, I never thought in a million years I'd have this much fun on this podcast when we started. I knew we'd have fun, but maybe not as much fun as we've had. I want to first off thanks Alex, Cole, and Rory for their time this week. Getting to learn a little bit more about the black bat and how crazy rare it is. Getting to learn more about Alex and what he does on a day-to-day basis. For not only the league, but what he does in his professional life, because that man's a saint. Because, there's a bunch of us that would love to say we are people that could potentially do that, but there are some people that are capable of doing it, and that, my hat's off to you, sir. And then, even with Cole, just learning a little bit about that Mamba mentality, and that they're going to be a team, man, that I think they're going to, snake up and bite you a little bit.
See what you did there?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But before we get too far gone, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel, obviously, and make sure you got alerts turned on. That way every Tuesday, 8 a.m., when that link goes live, you're able to jump in there and start watching. And for our listeners as well that are on Spotify or Apple Podcast, by all means, it loads in there shortly thereafter the 8 o'clock. So by 8:05 every Tuesday, you should be good to go.
33 days away from opening night, so have that bell on for the day after. So 33 days from our season, but 34 until the uploads. Be one of the first ones to watch it. It's going to be a blast. This year, it's going to... God, I'm getting chills, man. I'm excited about getting out there and getting to play. Or getting to watch at least. You get to play more, but, it'll be one of those things. But I'm clearly able to go and feel like I'm going to be an asset, and not a problem. Oh, I'm going to be out there with you guys. Even to watch it, it's awesome. A lot of the games that I don't play are some of my favorites of the year. Yeah. Kind of get to see things from a different perspective and everything. We talking cheat sheet for next week? Yeah. So next week, we're going to have the Purge and the Mojo preview. I'm excited about that one. For sure. We might have to get... wonder if we get Jason in here to kind of sit on your side of the couch and move you one spot over. Yeah, sit there and have you and your dad on at the same time. Yeah, it's fun. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited for that one. Put you both on the spot. Listen to you two go back and forth. I'll just let him take the reins, and I'll answer questions as need be. He has more answers than I do, but I'm ready for it. Bring it on. As you can see, me and Q are both wearing the new merch from our merch store. Make sure you go to the Mo WIFF website and hit that merch tab. Bunch of different stuff in there for each and every single team, all the way down from the regular Mo WIFF hoodie like I have, or Q on the back of his has got the Mojo Championship logo. So definitely log in and take a look at that. But with that said, man,
I'll see you next week.
Peace out, Bob.